All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of the 1-0 Total 90 Studios podcast, aka Studio Football. I'm Costa from 1-0. We've got Ali and Jamie from Total 90 Studios on the couch, but better and bigger than that, we've got former Socceroo, Brisbane Roar superstar, Melbourne City superstar, A-League superstar, current Whittlesea United manager, Ivan Franjic. Ivan, thank you for joining us.
Pleasure, guys.
I mean, boys, I tell you what, we're punching a little bit here.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're punching a little bit above our average.
Above our pay grade.
But
way above.
We've got, obviously, with yourself and the CV that you do have, I'm sure you've probably got to have one or two good stories to touch on the managers that you've been coached by, obviously the experience, the players, the games that you've played. But, boys, first of all, before we jump into it, we'll just ease into it. How's it going?
Yeah, not bad, man. Not bad. Same shit. Same old work. Just that.
We've all put gel in our hair for today. If that makes you feel any more special. Jamie cut my hair, he's put gel in mine. Ali was getting his touched up for about an hour.
100%.
Hey, I haven't had a haircut for 2 freaking weeks, bro. My barber's busy.
Yeah. I'm busy actually cutting hair.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
But Ivan, what does a everyday sort of look for you now as obviously finished playing up? A little birdie told me you're currently playing at Uni Hill, correct?
Yeah, last year I was at Uni Hill having a kick down there, but every day I've got 2 boys now.
Beautiful.
So just chasing them around every day.
Nice. How old are they?
3 and 1. So
3 and 1. Are they got to be future A-League players?
I think my younger one's more of a chance than my older one at the moment.
Like the poor kid. You can't be 3 years old and doing him already. And the 1-year-old's a better player.
No, he's good. He's getting into it now, but
Nice.
yeah, it's always hard. People expect a lot when your dad's played for the country.
Yeah.
They expect them to be up to it, so it doesn't
Sure.
matter for me what they do as long as they do
Beautiful.
what they do.
Is that something like you often hear? Obviously, I think all of us are pretty far away from having kids. Sorry, Ali. But is that something that, like, you know, you hear it's a bit of a thing. You see, like, the kids now that sort of are growing up and then they're playing, but then obviously their dad was an ex-player and there's that extra pressure. Is that something where you're sort of too fussed on? Would you force your kids to get into football, or is it just let them do what they want to do?
Look, obviously playing football you like them to play, but I think it's important that they're happy and they do, because obviously everyone sees football when you go on match day, but behind the scenes it's a lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifice.
Yeah.
So as long as my kids are happy and, you know, they're good at school, I'll be happy.
That's it, 100%. Well, because Ali, you are a former Uni Hills player, correct, too? An alumni? Do they have statues or anything of you there? Or?
Sorry?
Do they have statues or anything of you there? No, don't let them. It's too expensive. Well,
They had to spend double the price just for the size of his nose, so no chance.
there'd be a couple of them there. Can you say that?
Yeah.
You can say it 100%.
What was that experience sort of like? And if you are going to return sort of in the years to come, obviously playing local football, State 2 football.
Yeah, stay tuned.
Yeah,
Was
so
it-
too. No, it was actually good. I really enjoyed it. It's a good bunch of boys down
Yeah.
there. You just go there, have fun. Obviously, the grounds aren't the best. So you battle every week and you watch the ball in the air a lot. But
Yeah.
no, it's fun. It's a battle, and obviously when you're playing a good club, it makes it enjoyable. Because I always say that's the most important thing.
Did you cop any stick sort of from the opposition once they found out who you were? And what were some of the good calls that were getting called out on the pitch?
To be fair, every week I think I've got like 5-6 fouls, clear
Yeah.
fouls against me, and they're going, "You only give it to him because he's a Socceroo."
That's the difference. I get you only give it to him because he's on TikTok, but Ivan it gets because he's on from the Socceroos.
How are you getting fouled, you being the defender, though? That's the funny part.
No, I was actually playing on the wing.
No way.
Nah.
I started at centre back and then I went on the wing.
Oh, that's incredible.
That's when you know you're playing at a level where you can just do what you want.
Yeah.
The best thing is you go to some away fans and they're like, "You're too old, give it up, this and that." And they say the same thing every time. I go, "Guys, I like the banter, but you just said the same thing the last 3 times. Give me something new."
That's
doesn't
good.
even hurt anymore.
Yeah, that's the fun. That's probably something that, like, is there a lot of that? Obviously, I feel like, but like I feel like it would be different playing like the local leagues here to your big stadiums for the Socceroos or in the A-League for Brisbane Roar. There's something different to playing in the local leagues here. Have you noticed that now that you've got a taste for pretty much everything?
No, it is. It's to be fair, I'll say it's very enjoyable. You just go there. The boys just want to have a laugh after training, before training.
Yeah.
So it's actually good fun.
For sure. Well,
Still got my winning mentality. I hate losing.
yeah. Are you like brutal in the change rooms?
I think I gave it to the refs a few times. So
Imagine the refs coming in, they're probably rocking up to a State 2 game, just like, all right, we're just going to have a couple of boys here, whatever. yourself rocks up and just copying an earful from a former Socceroo player.
They
Hey,
go,
what are you going to do? Are you going to argue with him?
Yeah.
they go to pleasure. I'll go, tell me that after the game.
Leave the pleasantries till after
Yeah.
90 minutes.
Yeah. Sorry.
How did you finish last season?
We finished third.
Third. Fuck.
Yeah.
Close.
Yeah, we missed that on the last day. So
Fuck. Unlucky, man.
So you left as soon as Ivan joined. So
much,
if
I
my
was
maths is mathing, he took your spot.
Yeah, they couldn't. Yeah.
Or they couldn't afford both. That's it. Well, obviously now you've gone into the managerial side of things. We mentioned you're at Whittlesea United, but we're going to hold the pause on all that and we'll talk about your later life and sort of what's going on now, because I know there's some interesting topics to cover there. We sort of want to start where I feel like everyone else in Australia really got to find out who Ivan Franjic was, and that's that Brisbane Roar era. And that, for me, and we were talking about it before, off camera, before you came, I mean, for some reason I had this strange obsession with Eric Pardelou as an 11, 12-year-old kid, and I still remember that final against Central Coast Mariners, which is probably still one of the best A-League Grand Finals to this day, and we're Victory fans. And, you know, that 3-0 win against Sydney is definitely up there, but when Eric Pardelou just jumps out of nowhere from a corner, gets it, and then obviously you guys go on to win on penalty shootout. Describe what your time at Brisbane Roar was like and that whole period there.
I think, Brisbane Roar, it's something close to my heart, but it gives different emotions. Obviously, I went there on a 6-week injury replacement contract when Farina was coach.
Yep.
And I think I had like 3 injury replacements, 6 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, and they finally signed me. And a week after I signed, Farina gets sacked.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then Ange comes in.
Crazy.
Yeah, so that was
That's
from one
not a
extreme
bad
to another.
replacement, yeah.
No, it wasn't. Obviously, at the time, you had big personalities there. You had Craig Moore, Danny Tiago, Charlie Millers, Bob Malcolms, Lee Reddies. They were very big personalities in that change room.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And so you played with the likes, like we said, like an Eric Pardelou, Barisha was there too, Thomas Broish. Give us some sort of insight on what someone like a Bessa Barisha was like, for example.
He's very intense. He's obviously winning mentality. You can set it on the pitch, and he wants to win, and he wants to score goals. He's a striker, and he loves to score goals.
Yeah.
So Broich, obviously, he was more laid back, relaxed player. He plays the guitar before every game.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's not. Doesn't make noise. He's just practicing the notes and that.
Oh, wow.
Sitting, relaxing. Goes out.
That's a
and
different.
performs.
I've never heard.
That, yeah, you've probably got like boys playing just deep house music, something, and just
Right.
Broish is there sitting like E, F, G, just playing these nice little notes.
No, he was actually a very smart guy, Broich.
Well, he's in, correct me if I'm wrong, I think he's in Germany now coaching somewhere.
I know he was doing commentary on beIN Sport for the Bundesliga.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I think he's one that we sort of didn't realise what we had when he was here, sort of thing. Like, he was probably way above the level at times, but in that early point sort of the league, it sort of felt just like, okay, like he's just sort of another player. But I think later on in his career, everyone's like, okay, wow, Thomas Broish is the man. Give us some sort of insight and stories as well about maybe what it was like Ange Postecoglou. You're seeing him now, and unfortunately for Ange, he's not doing too well at Forest. But it's been so well documented that his like energy and his personality and his will to win as well. Did you have any funny encounters or sort of memories that stuck out the most to you with Ange in charge?
Yeah, Ange, to be honest, I think I had like 4 conversations with him in 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very
That's
keeps his-
like the stock standard
I was going to say,
first thing with Ange.
I don't know why, I feel like I heard Andrew Nabu say something like that similar as well when he had him obviously at Victory early days, and they asked him the same thing, and he goes, I think I said hi and bye to him, and that was about it, about twice, you know.
No, he obviously likes to keep his distance, which is his managerial type. And obviously, like you're talking about Nottingham Forest now, you can actually see they're shifting every week. They're getting better and better.
Yeah.
But I don't think we give managers enough time these days to, follow their process and their philosophy. Because I think he will turn Nottingham Forest into a great team. Obviously, he needs a couple of transfer windows to bring the players that he wants to play, but he's a very good manager.
Yeah, for sure. I think Andrew's he doesn't really seem like the manager that you can really bring in, not midway through like how we did now, but he needs to be there at the start of the preseason, you feel like, to get his whole philosophy across.
Definitely. I think once when we used to go on board, we always check our tickets. And for this particular reason, I go in, I look at my ticket, Angie's sitting there
Oh, no.
at the end, and I'm right in the middle of him.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I just put my headphones and started playing.
I was gonna say, what did you talk about? But does he have just I don't want to say the word aura because it feels like it's just whatever, but he does it does feel like he has that presence, and from what you can hear and see that everyone has mentioned about him, that would you say players were scared of Ange, or?
I think when you say players are scared of manager in football, I don't think that's true.
Yeah.
I think it's more of a respect thing.
Okay, yeah.
Players have high respect for managers.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah,
I think
that's
I think like the way like you see Ange's early interviews, he always spoke about like Ferguson and Wenger and like that sort of approach as a manager where, yeah, I think exactly right. It's not really that scared factor. It's more that respect. Like,
I think like I read his book that Vince Rugari did on him last year, and on the thing of like keeping a distance from players and stuff. It's because you couldn't, and we obviously do it on a much smaller level and on a different level, but like it becomes hard to drop your mate, for example. Or let's say you and Ange became best mates, and then he's got to have a tough conversation with you one day. I think to build sort of and distinguish, like, okay, now in this situation, I'm your boss. Like, how many co-workers are best mates with the CEO, for example? Not many. So you can understand it from that point of view. But I feel like it's something that with current day and modern day managers, you see managers now more so wanting to be friends with the players.
Yeah, but I think that's a question. Is that down to the generations? And
yeah. Well, you're obviously in the managing game now. Is that something that you've experienced? Have you taken anything from an Ange Postecoglou, or have you built your own?
No, definitely. You take a lot. Obviously I've had some great managers, Ange Postecoglou, Tony Popovic. There's so many. I don't want to start naming. I'll miss a few, but no, like you take everything. But for me, semi-pro and pro, it's a big difference. Semi-pro, you got bricklayers coming to work, so you sort of need that bit of, you need to chat to them. Where when you're in a pro level, they sign contracts, and you can be different because that's their full-time job. But semi-professional, it's not. They just come there because they love the game.
Yeah, it's a good point.
It's a different approach.
Definitely. Well,
what were you going to say before?
No, I was just going to say pretty much the same thing. Like, it's just, I feel like with Ange, like you said, it's more just people respect him more than they're afraid of him, and people want to do the best for him, and they'd rather just not disappoint him, so they just stick to exactly what he wants by the book, like just disciplined.
No, definitely that comes. Players always respect when every player gets held accountable at a certain point in the season. So we used to do video, and if you didn't like something, you'll say it in front of the whole group.
Yeah,
and I think people will respect that.
Wow.
Because there's a lot of managers that always pick on the younger players or this and that. It's the same targets where if Ange had done a video session, something was there to be said, he'd said in front of the whole group. It doesn't matter who you are.
It's good.
Keeps everyone accountable.
100%.
What do you remember the most from that championship win and that Mariners one? Do you remember any of it?
No, I do. I remember it was a good season. I think no one predicted us to win it that season.
Yeah.
But it started in pre-season. You could see signs of just dominating teams with the ball. And I think we started at Gold Coast round 1. We drew 0-0. Everyone expected Gold Coast to smack us coming from the season.
Yeah.
But no, it was coming to that grand final day. I remember 2-0 down. It's like, shit.
Yeah.
Shit, there's like 5 minutes to go. I remember I got fouled. We played a quick free kick. Matty Mackay played a ball to Solizano. And then he laid it off to Enrique.
Yeah, wow.
And 2-1. And then you could just feel the stadium. I think half the stadium left by then. And then we scored and everyone came running back. But if you actually watch Brisbane Roar that year, we scored a lot of our goals in the last 5 minutes of
Oh, wow.
or so it was actually interesting. A lot of people left, and apparently one entrance was blocked off. You couldn't get back in, but the other entrance you could. So
everyone's just flooding one entrance.
That's cold.
Fuck, that would have been chaos.
And then Partaloo scored, and you could even see Graham Arnold watching back. He was stressing when we got that call. He scored, and you sort of knew going to penalties we were on a high. They were a bit deflated.
Momentum and everything.
Theo pulled out 2 great saves in that.
Yeah, wow.
That was the 120th minute goal. And
just some of the names that you've just mentioned. Then we've just mentioned Michael Theo, obviously, Enrique, Giancarlo Solizano was one of my favourites. Unfortunately for him, came to victory, didn't really do much. But Solizano was one of the players to watch. It was great. Matty Mackay, you hated playing against him, but you hated him if he wasn't on your team. But you can imagine he was probably one of those players where you loved having on your team because he probably did all the ugly work.
No, he did. I still remember his talk at half time of extra time, 2-0 down. He's like, boys, we've been in this position. They can score 2 goals in 15. We can score 4.
Yeah,
we've done it before, so we went out and did it.
it's insane.
You knew it was game over when Mackay had walked out with his top tucked in. It was like, yeah, fuck, it's game over here.
I think it's like, I mean, you guys obviously got that nickname Barcelona for a reason. I think it's still to this day that, 10 years, 11 years, whatever it's been now, past from that final especially, and from that era of Barcelona, of Brisbane Roar, it's clear sort of shows. But what was it like for you, where that's not the start of your career, but it's earlier on in your career? Does it get to a point where like, okay, cool, I'm just in cruise control now, it's got to be like this forever? And then when it does start to change, how do you adapt to that?
No, it's obviously, like, that was my second year having success, and then we went on to win, I think, 3 and 4 years.
Yeah.
And, this comes every day, but it's so not true, because after that, I think I only won 1 Australia Cup. I won the Asia Cup of Australia, and the Premiers played at Perth Glory, so success didn't really follow after. So you always think, at that moment, it's like, this is
the normal.
Happens. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is normal for me.
Yeah.
But then every year, like, we got to the semis, lost this, and then you're like, fuck. You actually appreciate more and what you had.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, it's football, isn't it?
Obviously that era where you guys were doing so well, see every other team, well, let's say 80% of the league was probably at their peak. What was it for you guys behind closed doors that gave you that edge to go in and win the league that year?
I think it comes from training. When we used to have training games, like, players would like argue, fight. They just had that winning mentality. No one wanted to lose.
Yeah.
And if players weren't pulling their weight, we'll hold players accountable. We wouldn't have to come from the coaching. We'll scream at players, get your ass back.
Yeah.
Why aren't you running? That's you, not me. Like, everyone was held accountable.
Yeah.
It's good. You hold each other to a high standards.
We do.
Also, yeah.
It's, from the change room, as soon as we get out, it's training. We're at full intensity.
Yeah.
Training was actually harder than games.
Yeah.
That's a crazy thing to say.
So that's how talented. And you saw whoever came in the Brisbane Roar squad at the time, who was our 15th, 16th player, they did a job. They were very good. They knew the system, and that comes from training.
Fucking hell.
Interesting. Let's fast forward a little bit now. You mentioned your Socceroos period too. You assisted Tim Cahill in that goal against Chile in the 2014 World Cup in Brazil. What was it like representing the green and gold?
Yeah, it was actually good. We did 30 days before the World Cup in camp, so that went a fair while.
Yeah.
Again, like, you're just on a high in your career. Everything's so granted at that time.
Yeah.
How old were you at the time?
I think at that time, I made my Socceroos debut at 25.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was a lot
Bit
older.
mature, yeah.
Yeah, but it was hard to get back in the Socceroos back then. You had golden generation, you had so many good players playing in top leagues.
Yeah, that's very true, actually.
So you really had to work very, very hard. I think I started under Holga in the East Asian Cup. And it was funny because we went to camp in Sydney. We played Sydney FC when Del Piero was there and that.
Yeah.
And I wasn't starting.
Oh.
I wasn't starting. And then I came on at half time. I got 2 assists. And then after that game, we flew to the East Asian Cup and I was starting.
Yeah, wow.
Because of that game.
Yeah.
So that's how cutthroat it was. There's a right back ahead of me, and I was lucky that I had a good half of football that he actually got me.
Who was the right back at that time?
It was Maroney was meant to start before we
Fuck.
Maroney.
Oh, yeah, it was at Adelaide United.
I
Yeah.
think he might have been at Melbourne Heart.
Yeah.
That was the year he moved to
Yeah.
And he was a very
he was like
good
one of their
right
first
Oh,
signings.
there's gonna be some A-League fans watching this. Just
Yeah,
some
but-
of these names that are coming up are just
100%.
unbelievable. And obviously, likes of playing with the likes of Tim Cahill, stuff like that. Was Socceroos something? And obviously, you've said that you made your debut at 25. Was there ever a point for you where you were like, Socceroos cards is maybe off the table? I'm sort of just going to keep pushing it. If it comes, it comes. Or was that always a goal that you had in mind?
It was always a goal. I don't think it's off the table because back then you saw how late players started playing Socceroos. Usually when you get to the peak of your career, 26, 27, you're in Socceroos. So it's something I believed in. I was flying back then. I was doing well. I was getting in team of the season and that.
Yeah.
So I was hoping it was only a matter of time. And then finally that call comes. And I remember Gary Moretti calling me. And I thought it was a piss take call from one of my calls. Calling me off some random number. And I'm like, nah, seriously, who is this?
Oh, no.
Because the boys used to do it each other, put voices on in there.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think I'd cry.
Yeah,
Imagine that.
They put you back after I sucked in.
Yeah.
Even when I got off the phone, I'm like, is it really him or is someone taking the piss out of me?
You don't believe it until you're on that pitch against Chile, playing a ball through to Tim Cahill.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's
Until
going.
you get that email, nothing's going to
Yeah.
What's the experience like going into a World Cup?
Yeah, how's the training camp?
Yeah.
It's very intense. Obviously, Ange was the coach for that one. He was very
True.
intense, very good. You had players like Mila Jedinak, who was captain, Mark Milligan there, who's coach of Newcastle now.
Yeah, well.
There's just so many good players.
That's crazy.
Did it put you at ease a little bit knowing that you were going to go in and have a coach that you've already been coached by?
I think it's easier because he knows your strengths and how you can help with the team. So obviously it does help. But it's funny because I remember Holger, we were doing the training camp for East Asian Cup, going back a bit here, and we went in Sydney. We done this circuit, and we had to do laps, but there was this circuit, it was brutal. And you know how we remembered every lap we did? It was breaking sticks.
Oh, no.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Just one by one.
One by one. When we come around, put one down.
What a brutal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Asian Cup, if we had that, I played, we had that massive success in the Asian Cup, winning it on home soil. You got the likes of Massimo Luongo, James Troisi, Ange Postecoglou, obviously, at the helm for that as well. Yourself were part of that squad in that team. What was that like, winning a major trophy for the Socceroos in Australia?
It's actually big. You look at it like Copa America, Euros, how much they celebrated when they win, that you're kings in your country over there when you win. But there was a lot of pressure on us going into that tournament. I think the run of results weren't the best. Obviously, coming from the World Cup, and I think we played Ecuador, lost 4-3, so the string of results weren't the best. There was a lot of pressure on everyone.
Yeah, Andrew was copying a lot of shit in the media at the time as well.
Yeah.
That's where that famous argument's from as well, isn't it?
The Foster one was way before, but you could sort of tell that this was they were trying to get rid of him.
Trying to get rid of him.
Yeah.
No, they were. And then obviously we were playing at Amy Park against Kuwait, and we go 1-0 down.
Yeah.
And you could hear our own fans starting to boo us. Yeah, so
you guys can feel that on the pitch, or even just throughout that tournament, that you can feel that pressure? Is it you guys reading stuff? Is it you guys just almost can't escape it because it's there?
So I remember that game. To be fair, pressure, I was usually good with pressure. I handled it well. Because at the end of the day, people have opinions. You got one guy slagging you on social media, and the next week he's asking for a photo. Yeah. So you just go, people have their opinions. Everyone's entitled to have their opinions. Do people go overboard? 100% they do. But it's easy sitting at home and watching them when you're actually out on the pitch.
Yeah.
But no, going back to the Asian Cup, 1-0 down. I remember we're getting booed off at half time. Sorry, when that goal happened. And then, bang, we're 4-1 up, won the game. I think we go play Oman next, 4-0. We've qualified for the next phase.
Next stage, yep.
And then, obviously, we play Korea and rest a lot of players. Yep. We lose 2-1. But we absolutely battered Korea in Brisbane, so we're quietly confident that we can go a long way. Yeah. And then I think we went and played China in Brisbane again, so we didn't have to travel. And China just sat off. It was a matter of when they held that for a fair bit. Yeah. We won that one 2-0 off Tim Cahill, scissor, and header.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, wow. Yeah.
You know who set up that scissor?
You
did. There you go.
So he remembers that.
I remember that bit. I think I had a few assists in that tournament.
Did you let him know that you set that up for him as well?
To be fair, I was just happy we're through. Then we went. Then we played UAE in Newcastle in the semis. That, to be fair, they were a tough team. They were a lot harder than we thought, but we scored 2 early goals. Yeah, and I remember that game. I think it was like 89th minute. I get the ball. 2-0 up, I'll go for this bombarding run. Go for a run, I feel my tweak something in my adductor region or something. I go, oh no.
Oh shit.
So then it was a scrap to get to the final, obviously with the physios and that, and some painkillers I played. We beat Korea 2-1 extra time. And that was unbelievable. When they scored late on, it was 1-1 at the time, and then obviously we got in our huddle. We're like fresh, looking fit. They're all laying on the ground. And just goes, look over at them,
Wow.
They just scored. They gave everything they can, and we're going to win this now. Then we obviously went on and won it. And then I remember being 6 weeks out after that.
Yeah, wow.
Wow.
You can excuse it after a massive win like that.
I wasn't going to miss an Asian Cup final.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
way.
Yeah.
So you were just putting your body through hell to get there.
Pretty much.
And all the coaching staff and all that knew that
Everyone
you were
knew.
100%.
But our other right back, Chris Hurd, left just before the last group stage game. So as a right back, I ended up playing all 6 games.
Oh,
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
And in an Ange Postecoglou type team, that's not a fullback that's just got to sit
Yeah,
and just play defensive.
You're going on adventures.
You're gonna run.
Every time you win the ball.
Yeah, so pretty much I was on that massage table every day.
Yeah, wow.
After that final, obviously, you know, you've won the Asian Cup. It's fucking limbs, scenes.
Yeah.
But do you reckon as well for the playing group it was like a massive relief?
Of course, you know, obviously Asian Cup's a massive tournament. I don't think people in Australia give enough credit for it. You see when other countries win it, how they celebrate this and that. We pretty much went out that night. Next morning, everyone's going back to their club.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Because that was in January.
Fuck.
Yeah. Did you feel that like, I don't know if disrespected is the right word, but did you feel like you guys almost weren't appreciated enough for long enough?
I don't think people have spoke about it much after it happened. I think
Yeah.
It was 1 or 2 days, and then it was back to let's talk about
On to the
AFL
next.
and-
Yeah. I think because you're right. Like, and obviously we especially here in Australia love to compare ourselves to England, to every other country in the world with football, but like Copa America, like you mentioned, all those other leagues, and if someone like Jordan won the Asian Cup, it'd be the biggest news
100%.
of all time over there. So I don't know, for us, it felt like within the football community, there's a reason why we're bringing it up now. Like, for all of us, it had an effect, and it had a massive factor in football, because there was still A-League players, you feel like, in that team as well, and getting an opportunity, because I feel like Ange was looking out for those A-League players, looking within too. We mentioned a little bit before, sort of on the slide, that this cup was the one where you could feel like it was them, and by them, I'm sure you know who we're talking about, wanted to get rid of him. Could you guys feel a little bit of angst towards Ange from, I guess, the Football Australia sort of committee?
To be fair, I'll probably say no as a playing group, because you brush a lot of things aside.
Yeah.
Like I say, as a player, you know, like it's a result-driven business.
Yeah.
And if you're not getting results, there's going to be pressure no matter where you are. But the thing about the Asian Cup, as the tournament grew on, everyone was jumping on board. I
Yeah.
think by the end of it, when we got to the final, whole of Australia was on board.
Yeah, as they do with every major
And
tournament.
that's a very Aussie thing to do. Yeah.
That-
They started off
Fucking
writing it off, and then, oh my god, we're the best team.
Yeah.
yeah.
When you look at the current Australia team and the current Socceroos team, how do you think that Asian Cup side would sort of compare to the one of today?
Look, I don't like to compare, because I think football always
Fuck a
advances.
bop 'em.
Look, everyone's going to have opinions,
Yeah.
and look, there's some great players in the Australia squad now, and obviously they're getting opportunity at a lot younger age, which they're getting moves aboard, which is good, and we just need to keep developing these young players, because even the A-League, it's been a shift now where you used to bring these quality players from overseas, but with our salary cap, the TV rights still going down, the
Yeah.
salaries dropping. It's about the young kids now.
Yeah.
So people often pay out the A-League, but these young kids are getting so much exposure and experience, we actually need to back them in.
100%.
Sure. Is that sort of the approach? I got into a bit of an argument the other day with someone. Is that sort of the approach that you think the A-League should just continue to take? Or is that still the thing of, let's keep bringing these older players down? And I'm sure I get it. You need a couple, like your Juan Mata, like you need to put bums in seats a little bit too. But the approach of, like you said, like your Iran Kunda, like Geordie Boss just got Player of the Month in the Eredivisie, whatever it is. First Aussie player to ever get that. Like, these are all products of the A-League. Were you at City when Boss was there? At all as a youngster?
Might have been in the-
Bro, you were very young, yeah. Is that sort of the approach that you think the A-League should continue to take, and that football fans here should realise and go, hey, well, you're about to see the next stars of Australia in the league that you're watching every week, and ultimately for the success of the football in this country, this is better than bringing a 37-year-old Italian guy, a 34-year-old English guy that's got to play here for a year or two and then go home and that's it.
I don't think we've got a choice at the moment.
Yeah.
But definitely, I think, young kids are good enough, but they play 1 or 2 games and we tend to take them out here too quick.
Yeah.
We take sometimes 10, 11 games to really see a young boy.
100%.
But, it's sort of a catch-22 in Australia. Like, you look at America, they seem to get the players when they're still in good condition.
Yeah.
So maybe we need to take that approach. Can we try to attract these bigger players? Look, everything comes down to dollars and cents.
Yeah.
Of course.
Because obviously, when you got America coming, America's a beautiful country.
Yep.
So it is hard, but I think we can do it. But obviously, you need the media helping. You need everyone helping. Everyone needs to grow. Like I know everyone here gets up and watches the English Premier League.
Yeah.
But we don't go watch the A League.
Yeah.
It's true.
No, you're not wrong.
It's a good point. 2 a.m. Me and Jamie are idiots watching Man United.
Oh, bro, don't-
Who do you go for in the Premier League?
You-
Oh,
Oh, fuck.
yeah.
Hey,
See?
lids are off.
There's three.
Lids are off. We're
Yeah,
on.
no.
We're back.
Did you love Amarim after our recent game against Sunderland and the guy's gone? Is it a bit upsetting that you guys have, you want momentum going into the rest of the coming games, but you've got the international break, and he just turns around and goes, "Man, we don't have momentum. This
Yeah.
team doesn't have
There's no
momentum."
There is no momentum.
Look, I really like him. I think he's a good manager, and I
Yeah.
think that's another one where media is onto him and they're, painting a false narrative.
Yeah.
I agree.
He needs time. No one's really succeeded at Man United. Yeah, we've had Europa League, FA Cups. But we're talking the league. I think Jose Mourinho was the last time we finished second.
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't Ole finish second?
Ole.
Yeah.
Ole finished second.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Mourinho said that this was his biggest achievement
Yeah.
in his coaching career, and everyone laughed at him when he finished second
Wow.
with United.
But it's still second, a long way off first.
Yeah.
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 It was.
Exactly.
That's crazy. So going back to to that. So you played the Asia Cup, all that, and then was transferring to another country ever part of your plan, or did it just happen and you were like, "Yeah, I'm going to do it"?
No, look, I always wanted to play abroad. I think I always wanted to play in England and Croatia. And I was actually close going to Croatia. I was at Hajduk Split Stadium with the football director. Pretty much everything was agreed. Just couldn't agree a transfer fee with the club
No
back
way.
here.
Oh, wow.
So that was something that I regret to this day. I was actually at the stadium. It was unbelievable. It was
Like a dream.
I was living in dreamland.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
It's devastating.
Yeah.
Well, just because feet.
Yeah, there's a lot of politics I don't really want to get into. But yeah, it was
Yeah.
actually interesting. 'Cause I only had 10 months left on my contract at that time.
Jesus Christ.
Mm.
And you ended up where?
In Russia. Russia was sort of... I got injured at the World Cup. And a lot of options fell off once you got injured,
Yeah.
Like for me, it was unfortunate the position I played. It was explosive, and I was just getting injuries at the wrong time. And
All the same, or
a lot of hamstrings.
hamstrings?
Yeah.
You love doing injuries in major tournaments, eh?
I know, every major tournament.
Fucking
injury,
hell.
yeah.
Fuck.
Biggest stage, and it's like, nah, there goes a hammy.
At least you're playing. To do your hamstring in right back, like you said, it's explosive position. That means you're playing with your heart out. You're exploding off and gone.
Hold
Yeah,
up.
it is. Then you always look back at yourself and go, what could I have done better, this and that, and sometimes you just can't explain. But I remember getting a big knock before the World Cup against South Africa. I think Alex Wilkerson and me went in a challenge, and we
Fuck.
both collided, and I came out worse.
Jeez. He's a big boy too,
Yeah,
isn't he? Yeah.
You'd expect to come out second best against Wilkinson, for sure.
He was a pest as well. I hated him. I didn't like him.
What'd he do to you?
Yeah. What did he do to me?
Yeah, what did he do to you?
No, he was a pest. Ivan straight away said they're a victory supporter. Right. I felt jokes. Love you if you want. Where does
I
he
hope he
live?
sees you one
He's
day.
in Sydney.
I've been him off then. Don't worry about it.
I'm going to Sydney in like 2 weeks.
Been him off.
Go past Alo.
Yeah. Well, everyone obviously had. Could you feel that obviously when you were at City? And sorry, I know we've diverted a bit. The City and Victory sort of derby rivalry. Could you feel that at all? What was that like a little bit for you?
No, definitely. That derby is unbelievable to play in. He was packed stadiums back
Yeah.
then, and it was really intense. Obviously, Victory had more supporters, and you can really feel it when you go on there. And then you get this different adrenaline where you just want to go. You feel like you're in war.
Yeah.
And you just want to let everyone know when you win a tackle or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. It's good.
Were you a Victory kid growing up, like guy growing up, or was it just like
Not really. I went to a Victory game back then,
yeah?
but for some reason, it's actually a funny story. I supported Queensland Roar because of orange. Yeah.
Or you just like the colour orange?
Watching them, so I was like, oh, yeah.
Just because of the orange.
Or just follow them, just because of the orange. That fluoro orange they had. It was
That's actually sick.
with their blue shorts.
Yeah.
Well,
It
bro.
was a very
That
yeah.
orange, yeah, orange and blue.
That is funny because they've tried to bring it. Well, they're not tried. They've brought back the blue shorts
Yeah.
and that more of a fluoro orange color.
That's a
That's
random
so
take
funny.
on, yeah. That's
No, it was.
that's
Obviously,
random.
I was working carpentry back then, and I was always tired from work, and then I try to watch the Prem. So, like, I didn't. I only watch Queensland Roar on weekends, and
Yeah, wow.
In the Prem every time. as
yeah,
well.
I think I only went to one victory game at Olympic Park. I think
Well,
when they played Sydney FC and Archie scored that one where he wiggled through and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, nice.
It's probably
You posted it the
probably
other day.
before my time.
Yeah, Archie loves it.
what about the time in Russia? What was that like? Obviously, it was 10 months, short stint, but
It was very, very difficult in terms. Obviously, I had a surgery straight after the World Cup, and I've gone over there. They rushed me to get there, and we didn't have a physio. We had 2 masseuses and a sports doctor. So I was like trying to do my own rehab at the time, speaking to people back in Australia,
Yeah.
trying to figure out what I can do. Because it's not like an injury I've had. It's the first time I've had a surgery.
fucking hell.
And then obviously once it hits winter there, it's like -7.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah,
It's a massive change. And then from there, you came back here.
I came back to Sydney.
That was the city. And then you were at Perth as well. You were, like you said, minor championships at Perth. What was sort of the main difference that you feel like from all the other clubs that you were at? Was it just sort of different stages of your career, and that also played a major effect, or?
No, definitely. Obviously, to be fair, I always went to tough clubs that haven't really won anything.
Yeah.
So I first went to Brisbane, we won our first trophy there. City, Perth.
Yeah.
Obviously, Perth won in NSL, but we're talking A-League era. I just like challenges. And Perth was actually amazing. It's a beautiful city just to travel so far.
Yeah.
That you got a lot of travel to do. But end of the day, we won the Premier's plates, so you can make it work.
With Castro, Diego Castro was there.
Castro,
Yeah. What was he like?
Mate, he's unbelievable. You wouldn't even say man on to him when he's got like 4 players. You go, oh, men on, men on.
Yeah.
And I've never seen someone so talented as Castro.
Castro had the league on a chokehold
100%.
for a solid couple of years.
Castro is hard to mark because the coaches give him instructions, but then he's drifting to the other side.
He just does what he wants.
Yeah, but he's very smart. He scans the game early, and then you'll see where the weak links are. Like, he steps ahead of everyone.
Yeah, no.
I've had a brain fade. The striker that was at Perth,
Andy Keogh.
Andy Kerr. What was he like?
Yeah, he was good. He knew how to score goals.
Yeah.
And he was a very strong boy.
It's important.
These strikers overseas, they come to Australia, they're so smart. They do double movements, triple movements. It's so hard to mark him. Like, I think we don't work enough on our strikers with that.
Yeah.
Because he's checking in, you're leaning forward, he's gone behind you, you come back, he's come in front of you again in the space of 5 seconds.
It's like the movements, the patterns and stuff, the strikers. But for yourself, where do you sort of see as now a player that's done everything and achieved everything you did on an international level and at an A-League level and from a club level, where do you sort of see the future of football? I know we touched on the A-League and we sort of don't have a choice with the youngsters. The Oz Championship is something that starts this weekend, and now that you're within the local leagues now as a coach and playing for Uni Hook, how do you see the future of that, and what are your sort of thoughts on sort of the direction Australian football might be going in?
I think that Oz Championship is good because obviously more games, the better for Australian players. But it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
There's no one really backing it. There's no media. It's clubs putting up their own money.
Yeah.
Is it going to be sustainable? Let's hope so. Do we think it is? I think everyone's got the same answer on that.
Yeah.
So
A lot of sacrifices are going to have to be made for this, like from a personal level of the clubs, as you said, that are funding it and putting so much on the line for these boys and for us as viewers to be able to back it to the extent that we want to back it. Because obviously we want this to go all the way, because we've wanted this for freaking how long now. So if it gets a good couple of years and they're willing to put those sacrifices on and everyone's willing to jump on board and put in as much effort, then there's no reason why it shouldn't succeed, man.
no, I think the people that love football, they're most important to this. If big crowds come, it can be sustainable for a long time. But it's not going to be easy, because once someone pulls out the money, how's that club going to survive?
They were talking about it today for SBS. Like, they're going to have like 6 camera angles. It's going to be like, the production's going to be like A-League games. So
You'd hope
I think
so.
that's going to be.
But the players, it's going to be hard for the players. They come from an NPL season.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Finishers, and they're going to go back into pre-season for another
100%.
Well, we were saying before the Australia Cup final, I think everyone that's watched the game of football in their lives could tell that Heidelberg at the end were just not going to win it. They just looked exhausted. They looked like knackered. They had a deep run. Obviously, they in the NPL. Then they had a deep run in the Australia Cup, and then now they've got to go play another whole brand new competition where everyone higher up in these clubs would be wanting their team to do so well. I think that's why South Melbourne, we mentioned Seb Pasquale, I think that's why South Melbourne, because they didn't do that well in the NPL league. I think for them, they're a club that keep saying, we want A-League, we want this, we want to be the best team in Oceania, whatever. You know that they're feeling the pressure, and that's why they've gone big on the likes of Kota Kuda, Seb Pasquale, Ollie Laval, the ex-Western United players that they've gone and pinched. Manny Ugwek, who just won the award is for the top goal scorer in the Australia Cup.
Yeah.
You can feel there's a lot of pressure, and like I think what you mentioned is quite interesting, is the long-term effect on the clubs that are in this, because obviously the championship is only really signed off for the next 2 years. The clubs that are spending all this money on this competition over the next 2 years, is it all eggs in one basket for 2 years, and then after that, do we still have the money? Where does that money go? Did we make any money from it?
I think after the 2 years, if all goes well, then the FA will step in.
Yeah,
I think
because
that's
they plan to change the system.
Yeah.
After the second year.
Well, the clubs that are in, they're backed well financially, and these
Yeah.
people are business people, so I'm sure they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Speaking of the NPL, you've had your time in the NPL, coaching at Knights,
Yeah.
and let's be honest, it fucking went to shit. Not on your doing. Let's talk about that.
Look, first of all, I don't like to blame others. I say, yeah, it's my fault. Obviously, some people are painting a false narrative, which is normal. Obviously, at my time when I left, where we were sitting.
Yep.
Where were we sitting?
What was it,
Above
7th?
half.
No, we were just
Eighth?
outside the relegation zone. But we had a ton of Magic, which was the last game of the first season. And, I used to speak, I used to watch games back, this and that. And there's so many games we should have got points, which didn't happen. But it's a process, we've had to go for a younger squad. Obviously, it was a bit of a budget cut, which is normal. And, yeah, but it started in pre-season, and I still thought they were good signs. We beat Heidelberg round 1.
Yeah.
Round 2, we lose our 2 key players, MCL and ACL.
Jesus.
Yeah, wow.
And then we had 5 injuries, and slowly they all started coming back. So were we worried about relegation at the time, us as a coaching staff? Definitely not. We were only, I think, 6 points from top 6.
Well,
And you could play a ton of Magic who was sitting second last at that time. You beat them. By the end of the weekend, you could beat 3-4 points from top 6.
fuck.
So there's no issue at all. But obviously, it's a club I love. I grew up with Melbourne Knights and Auburn Cinnamore, watching both teams. One was in NSL, one was in VPL. So I'm not going to sit here and say bad things, because that's not how I am as a person. But it was a good lesson for me. I learnt a lot from that. I learned how to deal with management and things I wouldn't put up with in the future of my coaching. Obviously, when you coach your own club, you've got that emotional attachment that you let a lot of things go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, in a way, there was like unnecessary outside pressure. Would you say?
I wouldn't say necessary outside pressure, but Croatians, we are hard people. We're very opinionated. But a lot of people that had opinions would rock up to one game and just see the result. If you actually watch the game with the young players we had, we're actually I personally believe, we're on the right page.
Yeah.
Like, we weren't even worried about relegation.
Yeah, to say you weren't worried about relegation, and then to be obviously like say left or kicked out, whatever the narrative is ridiculous. Because obviously, like you said, you had a game the next week that is only 6 points off the top half of the league, and then you've got a good system in play, you've got a good group in play, and you're good with the club. So, like you said, like you said, now you've learnt a lot, and a lot of things you wouldn't tolerate again, and that's a good thing.
What was the turning point though with them? Like with you and the club, like
I think it started in pre-season. I don't want to go into detail because I don't want to talk bad.
Yeah,
about it.
no.
I never will. And then everyone needs to be on board. You can't be the coach and the assistant coach doing everything.
Yeah.
So it was tough. But then going forward, obviously we never lost more than 3 games. We're still in the Australia Cup. We had 2 wins there. I think, we've introduced some younger bloods from reserves. A couple of them got debuts. So I think he was on the right path. But this comes to the thing. Young players need time.
Yeah.
Lots.
And, obviously Melbourne Knights, it is a big club. Of course.
Yeah, you're always going to have that pressure, yeah.
The historic club, it's been around a long time. And
Man, people that don't know football know Melbourne Knights.
And,
Yeah, exactly.
I think 90% of the fans are on board. There are 10% that don't. But the ones that talk the loudest get heard.
Of course.
and people sometimes buckle to their pressure.
Unfortunate.
That's it. Obviously, later on, we've seen the follow-on effects with everything that's happened now at Knights. I know they've got like a new committee in there, a new board, and a lot of changes have had to take place. Is that something that maybe has come as a surprise to you? Or do you sort of sit back and look at that and go, okay, these are the right things that have needed to be made?
It's very interesting. I think people that have come in now, they're very good business people, so it's good in a sense. But for me, question is, I think we should all work together. Like, I think communities need to work together. It's not just Melbourne Knights. It's every club.
Yeah.
There's always something going on where, what if we work all together? Imagine how powerful we can become.
Yeah.
But it's always like saying the committee and that. I think when I left, me and the assistant coach, we had 19 of the 21 players message us.
Oh, wow.
Shattered. And obviously my assistant coach, he's a bit of a guru. He does stats and everything. You know, they say new manager comes in, and you always win games.
New manager bounce.
He goes, it's actually not true. If the players actually like the coach, it's actually the reverse. He goes the opposite way.
Oh,
Which,
yeah.
If they hate the coach, the new coach comes in, they get
100%.
Effect for 1 or 2 games.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Goes back to
normal.
Yeah, it's actually interesting. I never knew that. I thought it was true that a new manager comes in and it's 5%.
Yeah, it's a good point. True.
He does it. He studies it, and
Yeah, wow.
it made me feel good for a bit.
Yeah.
Is he like still your assistant? He's your assistant?
No, he's not. He's having a year off now. So
What is, I've just completely lost what I was going to say.
I think with managers you have to be careful as well. If players like the coaches, and it can be a ripple effect.
Yeah.
And that's where we've seen at a few clubs it's happened.
Yeah, it was there. So it was this. Did someone sort of come in early on for you, or did you want it to take a little bit of time once you did leave Melbourne Knights? Did you sort of want to take a little bit of time to almost reflect, have a breather, and then reset like what you're about to do now at Whittlesea?
No, I definitely wanted to take time away from the game and reflect. It had a big toll.
Yeah,
You know, it's especially a club where you grew up. And
Yeah, for sure.
You loved, so it did hurt. Like, obviously, it was like I got sacked, but it was also mutual. It was sort of on both ends, where, you know, I'll probably say if we had more backing, we would still be there today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Does it surprise you to see how even the squad and everything has formed, and the team's form ended up to finish off the season?
Yeah, I was surprised they dropped that way, but I think you look at it, you lost like 6 players in a quick period of time.
Yeah,
Which is always hard because obviously it wasn't a good look what was going around the club at the time, and players didn't know what happening. Then other clubs come like vultures and want to take the players, and they get intrigued to play at a better club. It's business.
Yeah,
100%.
of course.
It's just the smart thing to do.
100%.
Any other club would do the same thing.
When a club's down, you knock it down. You try to take their
100%,
players.
of
But I
course.
do think them appointing Mick Calandrella is a very good appointment. He's a very good coach. Obviously, he's got promoted to Patona City and Brunswick Juve, and I think he's the right man to get him back up.
Yeah, well, from everything that I've sort of heard, it was unbelievable with Brunswick Juve, and it seems like he's got a lot of respect. I don't know him like that, so it seems like he's very well respected within that sort of space. So, I mean, hopefully, like you said, even me as a Greek, you want to see Melbourne Knights sort of be the best team because it makes it better when you beat them. So you want to see all the big dogs pushing up there because they're sort of a team that you would expect to one day sort of be involved in this Oz Championship stuff.
No, definitely.
As well.
Championship needs Melbourne Knights.
Yeah.
That's to say, not just the NPL Oz Championship, it does need it.
Yeah.
So they need to get back up there straight away.
Yeah, but Melbourne Knights, I think for a while have been, I think, on our 75th year, we made the semi-final.
Yep.
And obviously, look at it, the players you brought in that year was unbelievable. I think, you had Ben Collins there that came mid-season. You brought Josh Phelps. I don't know how well he's now the NPL. You had me and my brother returned. You had great players coming from everywhere. So, but it's one of those things. How sustainable is it?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So was that something that you? Sorry, it was going back to Melbourne Knights or playing for Melbourne Knights, and then coaching them one day. Was that something that was always on, like, the horizons for you? Or was it something that you sort of just stumbled upon? Or
Look, when I finished my A League, I couldn't sign NPL. So when my brother was at George Cross in the State League, so I went and played with him there. And then we went to Heidelberg, and I was content in Heidelberg.
Yeah,
Heidelberg's
that's right.
a great club.
Yeah.
So I was very happy there. And if Heidelberg probably spoke to me any time during the season, I probably would have still stayed at Heidelberg.
Yeah, wow.
But then, it just took a while to speak to me after the season, and then Knights kept coming. They started from mid-season trying to hound me to come, and then, eventually went back to Knights with my brother.
Nice.
Wow.
And now coaching at Whittlesea, how did that all sort of come up?
They spoke to me last year, obviously, when them and their coach parted ways. They tried to get me then, but look, for me in football, I'm always open and honest, and I go, look, me coming down at this time of the year isn't probably right, because I don't know BPL2 that well. It's probably best you get someone that knows the league, and because they were obviously in a bit of relegation scrap back then, so they survived in the last day. And they rang me after season, and I wasn't planning on coaching, to be completely honest, this year. And then they kept hounding and hounding. I went to school with the boys, and then they got me in one day, and we agreed on a few things, and I go, right, let's go.
There you go.
There you go.
Just like that.
Just
There
like
you
that.
go.
So you're not going to play this year? Just coach?
Well, we'll have to speak to Fizz at uni. See, I'm sure he's got a different opinion.
Was coaching always something for you?
Yeah, I always loved coaching. Like, I've done a lot of young kids when I finished playing the A-League. I was coaching one-on-ones and two-on-ones and mentoring young kids. So,
Nice.
yeah, I've always loved coaching. I think it's important that if you've had a good experience at game, try to pass the knowledge on. And I don't think we get that right in Australia. You see a lot of ex-Socceroos, they've got nothing to do with the game, which is very sad.
It's true. It's a good point.
It feels like you get pushed away.
Yeah, in what sense?
Well, no one calls, no one knows where you're at. So
Yeah, interesting. I think especially so what we touched on with like that Asian Cup squad, where it's unfortunate. There's probably names in that team that you could probably say where people now, I don't want to say kids and sound like I'm 40 years old, but like people watching might not even know those names, which blows my mind. Like even someone like Massimo Luongo, you feel like someone like him we don't even celebrate that much over here. He played a majority of his career in England.
Yeah, I don't think Australians know many people. I think you can walk in the street and then someone goes, "Oh, that's," and they're like, "Who's that?"
Yeah,
well, name? Like, "Oh, I know the name," but they don't know how people look.
Yeah, well, it's funny. I was telling the boys when I was like, I walked past Michael Theo on Swan Street the other day. And like for me, I'm like, oh shit, like Michael Theo, you know, like
for other people that wouldn't
was
even
raw
know.
keeper, like he's done everything in the A-League that you can do. And I reckon if I went to every single person down Swan Street, they'd have no idea.
No, they wouldn't.
Yeah, which isn't a knock to him. It's more so just a knock on like we've got all this stuff here, but no one's really just put it out there.
Yeah, it's because in this country, man, as soon as an AFL player trips on a step, it's on the news.
Yeah, do you follow the AFL?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I know.
Who do you follow?
Carlton.
You're home, sorry.
Yeah. But even look at the Herald Sun, like soccer people. I want to read about soccer.
Yeah.
You turn the back page, AFL, rugby, netball, golf, and then you're lucky to get a little write-up about soccer.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been nothing, even for the Oz Championship, there's been absolutely nothing. Like, this is the thing, man, like, for the coverage of the Oz Championship, there's more games on free to air for Oz Championship than there is for the A-League.
And it'll be so hard to find out when the games actually are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
True.
I think it needed to be done. It had to be on free to air.
Yeah, 100%.
Because no one, with love, no one's paying to watch it. No one's paying to watch A-League. And that's where, like, yeah, it's going to be very interesting. I feel like we can talk about the championship stuff forever because it's new and it's fresh and no one actually knows what's actually going to go on with it. But
it's actually interesting, but you look at the NPL and A-League, how many NPL teams are beating A-League clubs now? Would this have happened back in the day?
nah.
No way.
You would probably say no.
Who were you sort of hoping to win that Australia Cup final?
Look, you always want the NPL teams to do well, and I know both coaches started playing with Milligans, so I was happy either way. I was happy they were both there.
Yeah.
I think if we don't realise, but if Heidelberg won it, they're in Asia.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So they could have been playing against Yokohama and big teams like that.
It would have been insane.
Last week, how ridiculous it would be for Australia and for NPL football, just in general, to have a team who's just around the corner going to freaking Asia.
That would have made like global football news.
100%,
You would have thought.
It would have.
And it's funny, it would have been labelled as second division team,
Yeah.
but it's not.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you know.
It's local, bro.
I think it is with the Oz Championship.
Yeah, now, yeah.
You know how the commentator does the lineup before the game?
Yeah.
They've been spinning out saying, wait a minute, this is a team that's not even in their top league
Insane.
in their country.
Well,
Now
like,
they're in this cup.
like what you were saying at the start, we've got, brickies coming to training and stuff. These boys would have had to take time off work. Sorry, boss, I can't
Heidelberg
come.
trained, like for pros this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5 times.
Most
Yeah,
of
5
them,
days,
yeah.
4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
100%.
Uh,
All the results they were.
They've probably not even been able to play at their ground because it doesn't meet standards for Asian Champions League.
yeah, true.
So
Well,
obviously,
obviously,
they would've-
Yeah, they would have to play that.
Yeah.
Or Lakeside even.
Yeah,
yeah, so it would have been
Yeah.
a big financial strain on Heidelberg as well.
Yeah,
of course.
that's
yeah,
true.
I think that's what we were sort of saying as well. Like, could they even have afforded to be part of that competition?
Mm.
Which it would have been pretty cool to see.
It would have been amazing.
I'm
Yeah.
sure the Greek community of Australia would have funded.
Nah, they're not taking my money.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you're a dog.
This shit.
You're a big
This
dog.
is what we were talking about before. Communities need to back the clubs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Not hire business.
you're the issue.
nah. I don't know who. I don't know. I'm not. I don't really go for any other Greek teams.
Oh,
Who do
yeah.
you support?
Doesn't.
Melbourne Victory.
No one really. Yeah, just Victory fan. I won the Victory medal this season. So,
Oh, fuck off.
do we explain the story? Sorry, I can say the story again.
No, bro. We've heard the story a million times.
We sponsored
sponsor a player, yeah.
Jordi Valadon this year, and he was away at the Socceroos camp for the presentation night. So they awarded him as the winner, they brought me up on stage, and Arthur Dials is up on stage and goes, "Oh, good season, man." I was like, "Thanks, cheers." I'm glad I played well.
Maybe
Anyway,
it was something about 1-0.
huh?
Maybe he watched the
Maybe he
film.
watches me.
Yeah,
Maybe watch
You
YouTube.
reckon?
yeah, it's a good
Get
season.
me over Jason Davidson at fullback.
I reckon before we cut this episode, Liverpool are in the fucking mud. Liverpool are big in the mud.
Yeah,
United are back.
Since we found out you're a United fan too,
Go.
Hey, I reckon Amarim heard my fucking crash out last week.
you reckon?
Bro,
Oh,
did you see him on the touchline?
I also, yeah, I did say that.
Sure, it's
Bro.
very animated.
I also did tell you, Ali, last week that you guys were in the mud and you laughed at me.
No, yes, I did, but I also did say...
You know
we
he's not
probably
first
lose.
anymore.
No. That's fine. Where are you?
Are you still comfortable not being first?
100%.
Okay. Last week it was so
Don't
comfortable.
forget, you're saying Liverpool, Man United's terrible. We've only like 6-point gap.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is only a 6-point gap.
And when we come to Anfield and smack you guys in 2 weeks'
Oh,
time,
bro, the Saints.
oh, just you wait,
Would you be
Ali.
surprised? Because I fucking wouldn't.
Yeah, no.
If you've come to Anfield and...
Nah, we're losing 4-0.
Huh?
I'm this close to training. I'm training Salah out of my fantasy team. Do you play fantasy?
No.
I'm training Salah out of my fantasy team
Nah,
because
just
he's
wait.
dog water.
Just wait till the
But
Liverpool game.
I'm going to do it after he plays United
Yeah.
because I know he'll.
This is the
Smack
thing.
us.
There's so many factors that can come into play in this United game. Either we lose and put United into massive form, or we smack you and you put Words in form, you put Salah into form, you put us back into...
Yeah, we've already done that with Foden, Doku. Yeah,
Exactly, yeah.
Can't
So
fuck
there's
that.
so many
You're welcome.
things,
Yeah.
like...
Who
man,
who
thanks
would
for
you
coming.
rather win the league now? Liverpool or Arsenal?
Arsenal.
Still Arsenal? Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, you don't want us to win another league.
Well, I hate Liverpool to win
Yeah, I do hate Liverpool.
because everyone's all of a sudden a Liverpool supporter.
Yeah, a bit like him.
Oh,
Yeah.
shut up. I was there, Brendan Rodgers, yeah, finishing 12th. I was there.
Like, people never used to see my social media. People never post when Liverpool.
Now,
Yeah.
now everyone posts, yeah. My whole all my
Yeah.
Instagram stories are Liverpool, Liverpool,
Bro,
Liverpool.
we went from posting our Europa League fixtures to fucking, Champions League every week.
Yeah, fair.
Ali thinks the first striker Liverpool had was Divock Origi.
He's one of the best, yeah. Put some fucking respect on his name.
Are you happy with the Isak signing?
Yes and no. Yeah, no, because Ekitike was actually doing fucking amazing, and yes, because that's a big club. That's a big club move to go sign the best striker in Europe for the most expensive whatever, and to still have an $83 million player as your depth.
When you say best striker in Europe, what do you mean by that?
Alexander Isak,
Yeah,
is he not the best striker in Europe?
that's coming from a Liverpool fan. But are we talking stats or?
No, I'm not talking stats at all.
Yeah.
Because if you go stats, Erling Haaland's the best striker in Europe. But as a footballer, is he the best striker? Technically, no. Statistically, yes. But Isak technically is
Because
without
him
a
and
doubt.
Wissa had the same stats.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I mean. Like statistically, there's a lot of players that are probably above him or on par
Yeah.
with him. But I don't really care about statistic.
Mm.
I'm talking like, as the player to get you the goal, he's more likely because he's just so good. Even at Newcastle, I hated coming up against them. Why? He scored 3 against
Look,
us
he's
every single time.
a quality player.
He's
don't
a
get me wrong.
quality player.
But
But
it's
has that put a TK on the back foot now?
yeah, but that's the thing. But it's weird, and this is where like I don't know we're hanging shit, but it's also true. Any other club, Chelsea does everything that Chelsea do, and they get ridiculed for why they need to sign this player. Liverpool go and spend all that money on Ekitike, and it was almost like you could look back on this Isak deal if he doesn't win Golden Boot, and like that's the level that we have to hold these players
100%.
on. Like the same way with Arsenal, where their expectation now is win the Premier League. You don't do that, it's been a failure.
It's 130 million.
Like he needs to do that.
He does.
And it almost feels like it could be the most expensive panic buy of all time because
100%.
he forced it out. So I think
I reckon it was a fuck around buy. It was just to piss Newcastle off.
But you know, we look at it. The thing Liverpool should have gone Isak. The reason why he didn't do a pre-season.
yeah,
And he paid 130 million.
didn't play it. Yeah,
Pre-season. He wasn't.
Well, there is that, but like he was doing, he didn't do preseason with the team. Like he was doing his own fitness, whatever. And
he wasn't training in
That's
Newcastle.
No, he wasn't training with Newcastle.
No.
He was training by himself.
So he's been.
Which isn't good.
He was sitting in Mykonos having
No, he's
frappes.
But look, man, Sesko Air is in full flight. 2 games,
Yeah.
2 goals.
Mason Mount.
Mason
wow.
Mount. Did you see?
amazing.
But-
Yeah, I did. I was watching.
What a touch.
Bro, I even
Calm,
high five my
collected.
Man United cousin for Mason Mount's goal. 'cause
Cool,
I love
calm and
Mason
collected.
Mount.
You look at Jokeris. He's getting a lot of media attention for wrong reasons.
He's a
Yeah,
wank.
bad.
Yeah.
There's a lot of new players that have like stunk.
Yeah.
See, Arsenal as well. Like, and I'm not just being a biased United fan here because I'm the first one to tell you a shit. But Arsenal as well. Another one like Eze. I don't think they actually wanted him.
Nah.
I only think they wanted him because they didn't want him to go to Tottenham.
Yeah.
They didn't want to
Yeah.
go anywhere else.
Because Arsenal fans want. He's a great player. He's a player that you can just love. I like Eze. I think he's a great player. But I think Arsenal know that if he went to Tottenham, they're absolutely getting ridiculed for that.
100%.
And-
he'd kill that.
Because
Look
Eze,
at
he,
Eze as well, when he came, sorry to interrupt you,
Yeah.
he came from Palace, where they had ball-dominating team or counter-attacking team.
counter attack.
So that's when he's most dangerous.
Yeah.
He's at full flight.
Yeah, yeah.
He's
That's a
not
good
at
point.
full flight.
Well, the only time he's had an effect at Arsenal was that one counter attack week.
Yeah. But that's the thing.
Exactly.
He doesn't fit in that Arsenal. Like, you
No,
look at him, you go, he doesn't fit.
No.
Odegaard getting injured every second day now probably might
Bro,
help him because he might sort of get into that sort of 10 role where he can flourish a little bit. But yeah, there's a lot of Sonny Wirtz. He's obviously copying a bit of stick too. I mean, we've got the best keeper in the league right now. So
Oh.
anyway,
When life gives you lemons, brother.
yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
clean sheet.
He made one
Wow.
good save and you're writing him as the best
I love. Do you see?
goalkeeper in the
I saw on TikTok this guy's gone. Guys, I was watching the game this morning, and you know how good it was when the balls come in, and our goalkeepers jumped and he caught it.
Yeah.
No, he caught the ball.
I said when that happened, I high-fived my cousin. He's like, "Why you high-five me?" I was like, "That's better for you
Yeah.
than fucking goal. Your goalkeeper
Bro,
caught the ball."
Man, you could even hear the crowd a
Bro,
little
the
bit
crowd
just
went
going
off.
like,
Yeah.
start
As soon
clapping.
as he caught it, I was fuck.
That's when you know. Imagine Bayern, or whatever his name is, Bailam or whatever that
Yeah.
song is, on the bench, just hearing that, going, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, no, he's not getting a spot.
Yeah, he's looking around like he's never clapped for me.
Yeah.
No, he's not getting a spot.
Well, Ivan, is there anything else you want to sort of touch on? Sweet, we've covered a lot.
100%.
A nice little trip down memory lane for you.
He was.
Are you excited for your new season, new coach, this that, new role, new environment?
No, definitely. Obviously, new environment. BPL2. I've learned a lot in the semi-professional environment because obviously coming from pro, your standards are a lot higher.
Yeah,
But you have to. Players are good enough,
100%.
but it's working a day job, so you have to, sort
Yeah, you
of
have to
break
account
down
for it.
things where with professional players you can go do this, do that. They understand what you're saying. Where you have to break it down. You can't overcomplicate it.
Do you have like certain methods that you take where like you break up being their coach and sort of like trying to be their mate, or are you mainly the coach and like I have a system, philosophy, and this is what it is?
No, definitely. I've got my system philosophy. Look, at the end of the day, you go pre-season, you have to see the players you got.
Mm.
But I do pretty much stick in my key principles.
Yeah.
So see how well and how quick we pick it up. Sometimes it takes. I think with Ange, we didn't get going to round 10 that year. We won it.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
We had a whole pre-season, the longest pre-season in the world. I think it got to round 10 to
Yeah.
So yeah, that's when we started flying and we went on that big run. I think 36 games unbeaten.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully you can repeat that, man. Good luck to you.
Yeah,
Honestly.
we're Whittlesea fans now in the
Yeah.
VPL 2 Cup.
100%.
We'll definitely keep-
If you need a right back, let me know. What are you laughing for?
I heard he's making a comeback to Uni Hill.
Maybe,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
fuck. If my boss would let me go.
Yeah, exactly. Nah, need you here, man. Thanks.
Why don't you all come to me?
Huh?
Why don't you all come to me?
Yeah, oh, look. I'd
And we
love
can
to.
all play together.
Yeah, I'd love to.
If you stay in Metros, we'll be there.
Nah, don't worry. I've got big funding on the way.
Oh, okay, bro.
Oz Championship.
Definitely not from your Greek community.
Nah, fuck 'em. Nah, I'm joking. Love you. Ivan, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure and like massive as well honour to have someone of your calibre joining. I was going to say our studio, the boys' studio.
Our studio now.
But jumping on the podcast and sharing your stories. Best of luck with everything at Whittlesea for the season. And we joked about it, but we'll be watching from afar. Close personal friend now of the show. So much love and respect. Boys, thank you as well. Ali, credit where credit is due. We take the piss out of Ali a little bit because everyone that comes on, Jamie cuts their hair, but Ali teed this up. So Ali, well done.
He's a uni legend.
Yeah, that's it.
I gotta, work my way
I
around.
see the photos of him in the club room.
There you go.
Turn that up.
There you go. How many goals have you scored?
Huh?
Jamie actually reckons you're a very good player, and I just can't imagine you playing.
Me neither.
You know what? Nice haircut can change that.
Yeah, the curls. Anyway, we'll wrap it up. Boys, beautiful. Do you have anything on this weekend that's noteworthy?
This weekend.
Just gone to the first round of the championship.
Yeah, Avondale game. Sunday, 4:30 against Canberra, Croatia.
That'll be sick.
No, I got a packed weekend.
Yeah, nice. All right, before you start getting into
Friday.
Happy birthday, Alana.
Wedding Saturday. Footy Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's on for the weekend, Ivan?
Then I'll watch a bit of the Oz Championship.
Yeah.
So I think the Avondale game. I think Avondale's going to win comfortably.
Yeah.
NPL Victoria's a lot stronger than Avondale.
Okay, before we leave, and we'll actually wrap it up soon. I was reading the other day. There's actually like a lot of this NPL Vic sort of arrogance that must be getting. Obviously, we're within it, so we don't really see it. I feel like it sort of must be getting portrayed to the rest of the country and to the rest of the leagues. Do you think NPL Vic will wipe this championship tournament?
I think NPL Vic team will definitely win it.
Yeah.
Look at Australia Cup, who reaches the most semi-finals and finals. It's
The Vic teams,
Yeah, but I think you got Sydney, NPL New South Wales isn't that easy. And
I was just going to say, I think they're the only ones.
I think your RPA, your Marconi's, from what I've seen, the better ones.
We watched RPA against Avondale. They're not bad.
I reckon RPA will probably go the furthest.
And Adelaide City's not a bad team.
Yeah.
True.
And then always the Brisbane teams are going to put up a fight. Then they're not easy.
So you just got to go for the team that wears orange in this tournament.
Fuck. A Queensland Lions in there.
That's it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for watching. Ivan, a massive thank you yet again. Make sure to give us a follow, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and let us know when your birthday is down in the comments down below because the boys are going to give you a free haircut. Thanks for watching.
Fuck.
Bye.